driver off the deck for Corey Connors.
Here's driver off the deck for Victor Hovland.
So the driver off the deck. I know you would try this, right?
Oh my, what a shot.
Just to be able to hit it off the deck and get that thing down and fly it and running.
You have to put your foot on the gas. You pull out the driver off the deck and you put it on the green all the way up the hill.
I'm Josh Decker, and this is Off the Deck, where the game is just the beginning. Welcome to another episode of Off the Deck. I'm Josh Decker. Today we have the best 9 handicap in America. His name is Ryan Hardenbrook. A lot of us also know him as Cigar Don. Ryan, how we doing, brother?
I'm good, man.
Where are you right now? You were always all over the planet. What city are we in?
We are currently in Knoxville, Tennessee, but not really. Where are we actually at? Farragut, Tennessee, which I haven't been drinking, because if I had been drinking, I wouldn't be able to pronounce that.
That's a fair point. Did we play some golf today?
We did. We went to Island Point. A strong recommendation from Saucy Vossy, also known as Andrew Voss. So thank you for that. And it was phenomenal. One of the better first-time experiences at a golf course I think I've had. Got to meet the owner when I got there. It's a nonprofit golf course, which is
very
crazy.
Cool. That's incredibly unique.
Yeah,
and I'm not the least bit surprised that you met the owner. That is very on brand for you. We're going to find all the people involved. We're going to meet them. We're going to hug their necks. By the end of the day, you probably knew his family, his kids, in-laws, all the things, right?
I went to go get alcohol. I went to get Reposado, and I was told that I couldn't have it on the golf course.
Oh, okay.
Well,
that's the first strike.
Before I could get upset, the owner popped up from his Zoom call, and Dan, fantastic guy, and he's like, "We got all these beers. Look at all our beers." It was great. So we did that, awesome. And then it was really cool to get to know him, and he geeked out. We talked about Sweetens, and excited to go out and play with him and introduce him to Sweetens. And it was such a cool. The whole experience. Dude, the first guy we talked to, we go in and they're like, "Hey, do you have a tea time?" And we were like, "No." And they're like,
"What's that? What's a tea time?"
They're like, "Really?" And I was like, "Well, the Golf Now thing made it look like you had 1 million tea times." And they were like, "No." And we were like, "Awesome." I was like, "How are we going to do this?" And they were like, "Well, the tea times ended at 2:30. It's 2:45." And I was like, "Okay, how about what if we just went out and skipped the first few holes? And then you just put us where you want us, just like helicopters, and
right.
And then we're right in line." And the kid goes, "Yeah, man, we'll do that. That'll work. That's a great idea. I'll lead you out there, fields it up. We get everybody charged. We get out there." And then, what was it? The other thing he did? He did that. And then there was something else he did. It was like, then the beers, they were like, "Oh yeah, we can't have alcohol, but you can have beers."
Can't have alcohol, yeah.
Let me get you the beer.
Alcohol, but we can have beers.
We'll get you all dialed in. Everything's fine. They were so accommodating. It was fantastic. So
he dropped us on 2 tees.
And
he told the foursome behind us walking off the green, "Hey, y'all are going to have to wait."
Yeah. He told the foursome behind us, "You're going to have to wait."
Okay.
These guys.
Wow. Yeah.
And it was. He didn't know we're nobody important, but he was just really, really cool, and it was a great thing to do. So it was great golf course, exciting, a lot of fun. Played terribly.
I don't believe that for a second. So Ryan, I think I've known you now for, I guess we'll call it 2.5, 3 years. And this is a podcast about golf and people, and exploring your own relationship with golf. There's some cool intersections there with your side hustle, but when did you fall in love with the game?
So I was working on staff at a church in Vegas, and a friend of mine who happened to at the time be he was the head of children's ministry and youth, and I was volunteering in the ministry, and I'd started smoking cigars when I was like 17 off and on. This is 2005, I think. So 2006. And he goes, "Hey, if you're going to volunteer in our ministry," which I was, he said, "you can't smoke cigars in front of other people. Like, that's just not a thing." And I was like, okay, so I just have to give up cigars. He goes, no. He goes, you can smoke them on the golf course. I was like, well, I don't golf. And he goes, sounds like you should start golfing.
You do now.
And I was like, cool. And the next morning, I came in. I just started as an understudy, an intern. And the next morning I came in, I had a brand new set of golf clubs at my little cubicle. And I played the next day, and then smoked the heck out of a bunch of cigars, had a good time, hit it everywhere, and then continued to do that. So I think I really got into it a lot more when I was in China. You know, Asia's got an incredible fascination for the game of golf. And I mean, when you go to a golf store in Asia, it's kind of like going to a jewelry store in the United States, like a Rolex store, and you're like looking around. At the time, like Tiger was still playing the Forged Blades, you know, the 905R was the brand new driver. R7 was still going strong, you know, so you're going in and it's like the Japan only versions and like all this really high end stuff. And it was really cool. It was fun when I was working over there to go experience that. Got to join a golf course there called Macau Country Club and played a bunch of golf there. Smoked a ton of cigars and had a great time. So
that's really cool about the pastor telling you that, hey, don't do this in front of the kids, but you can do it on the golf course.
That's right.
Why do you think cigars and golf go so well together?
I don't know. I don't know that I think that golf is about, you know, we talked about it today. One of the coolest things about golf is its unique ability to really discover who people are. You get to see what people's emotions are. You get to see what makes them tick. You get to see what makes them angry. You get to see how they handle pressure, and you get to see how they handle their emotions. And I think that most people will be very original when they're on the golf course. And I think that the cigar component to that is that a lot of people, this is you know, I think prior to the Cuban embargo in 1953, this was like one of they were outpacing cigarettes in this country.
Really?
Cigars were a massive part of everything that we did. And so for me, I think that this was an extension of that. I think that, you know, generations of folks have been smoking cigars in garages and on back porches, and most people didn't really know. And when it became acceptable to do it on the golf course, all of a sudden everybody joined in. And I think that it's an extension of who we are and what we enjoy, and allowing ourselves to, you know, I would say let loose a little bit, feel safe enough to do the things that other people might not agree with. And that's okay. You know, golf is what you make it out to be for you, and it's what you decide it's going to be for you and your people. You know, and if you want it to be hyper competitive, it can be. If you want it to be a lot of fun, it can be. If you want it to be, you know, about cigars and bourbon like I usually do, then who knows? No one knows where that leads Cope.
So is there a perfect pairing, whether it's dew sweeping with a cigar or if it's golden hour with a cigar on the golf? What is your like quintessential? Oh, this is it. What moment on the course is that for you?
I think golden hour. Usually at Sweetens Cove, it's when you make the turn from king to 5, right around golden hour. And when I hit 5, you're always waiting. It's the perfect time to light up a cigar. And you just get to look around at one of the higher points of the golf course. You got glass water on your left. You got, you know, folks trying to hit the green on your right. You know, you got guys trying to make a hole in one behind you, you know, and you're looking around and the sun's just beaming. You know, it's orange and pink and beautiful, and the smoke makes it look more pink, you know, and then it calms you down because the nicotine is extensive, and then it lets you make your putts, you know.
So that's how you make all the putts, is because of the cigars. Good.
So I started smoking cigars.
We're all going to start smoking cigars.
Right. We're all, yeah.
Peanut gallery. That's the key to making putts.
So I took like 2.5 years off of golf. And when I came back from golf, I also wasn't smoking cigars for a couple of years. It was like 3, when I say a couple of years, it was like 3 or 4. And I was when we moved back to Vegas the third time, I was at Las Vegas Country Club, and I was in a really tough match. There was a lot of money on the line. Not that people would gamble playing golf. I mean, I think the match was for like $2,000, maybe just under. And I had a buddy who was there named Tony Thompson. He used to own Thompson Cigars, and he used to smoke these cigars that were, I think I've told you about them. They were massive, like the lunatic cigars. They're like 7x70. It looks like a log.
And so for the uneducated, which includes myself, a 7x70 explain that to me like I'm 3.
Cigar. That's about a 70 ring gauge, which is 70.
That's a lot more than
70 millimeters around diameter.
That's large.
So it's like 6 of these.
Wow. Okay. Goodness
and
gracious.
He literally held it like this. It was amazing. He held it like this. Bear in mind, this guy, I can tell stories about this guy for forever. Tony Thompson's incredible. He was 74 at the time. And he used to play golf. He played golf every day with Jerry the Jew. Jerry the Jew owned, I know this probably seems inappropriate, I promise it's not. We called him that. That was his name. He wore cowboy boots that had spikes in them. And he was
to play golf.
And he was literally from Israel. And he was the first mass producer of tomato sauce in Las Vegas. Like the strangest thing to be famous for, but that's what he was famous for. And so he used to come play golf, him and Tony Thompson. And so Tony was there, and I was like, Tony, you know, I had this huge putt, and he's like, he's got money on the side on my game. We had like 12 people watching, and he's like, hey, I need you to make this putt. I was like, kind of freaking out, man. It's like a 5-footer or something like that. I was playing well, but it's a lot of pressure, you know? And he's like, get you some of this cigar. And so he hands me this log, right? And he's like, put it in your mouth, right? So I smoked it, had no idea the effect of the nicotine because I hadn't smoked in so long. And my whole body just went and walked up, just drained it, didn't even think about it, right? And it was at that point I started smoking cigars when I played golf again. And that was when I was better at golf. But now it was a competitive thing. It was like, hey, I want to keep my heart rate low. I want to like calm myself down. Nicotine's a little bit of a downer, not an upper. And there's so much nicotine in a cigar. I mean, the average cigar that we smoke, like this one, has probably 280 milligrams, 300 milligrams of nicotine if you don't inhale it, that you're getting in your
really. So even if you don't inhale, and this is a golf podcast, it's currently turned into a cigar podcast, but that's fine.
No, I'll bring it back.
That's what we love about Off the Deck. We can do whatever we want. It's my podcast.
That's right.
Yeah,
Off the deck. Bro.
So fast forward. You clearly fell in love with cigars thanks to a pastor, which, being a preacher's kid myself, I love that story. You've met my father, spent time, and we are both members of the SLAB Cigar community, which we love and enjoy.
I don't even tell people we have members. It's like, if you know Central over there.
So what inspired you to begin and tell us, SLAB Cigars, Smoke Like a Boss? What inspired you to begin that product or that program?
So the original plan was to do an app, and it was going to be called the Cigar On app. And it was about reviewing cigars and giving, advice on where to buy them and the right, things that you could find the flavors of that you liked. We felt like there's a lot of intimidation in the cigar world.
There is. I would agree with that.
Yeah, it's scary. Like, you walk into a humidor. There's a beautiful humidor that we're in now. Blue Smoke. In where are we in again? It's Blue Smoke. Farragut, though.
Basically Knoxville.
Or just outside of Knoxville. But I like saying the word Farragut. So Farragut, Tennessee. But it's great humidor. But you walk in and it's like there's a million cigars. You don't know what they are. You don't know what they taste like. Most people have only had 2 or 3 different kinds ever because they don't want to veer too far off because they're afraid if they get a cigar that they don't like, it's like now it's a disappointment because it costs a lot of money. And so we felt like if we built an app that could give you that kind of information, it'd be helpful. The problem is that Apple doesn't want that to happen. And they worked very hard to make tobacco not something that would be promoted in the app world. And that's okay. And so we got into this, the further we got into it, we got down the app development route. We started having an interface. We started working through that. And we were like, we just can't do this because it's going to be a constant fight to try and get it, where we want it to be. And so we took some time off. We actually went down to the Dominican Republic, met with a guy, Willie Ventura. We're smoking one of his cigars right now. He was a master blender for Davidoff for 40 years. We go to the Dominican, we come back, and I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm already shipping out like 24 care packages to friends, mostly in the jail state of California for cigars, not a political statement, just for cigars. They have the highest taxes on cigars on the planet. It's like
California does.
Yeah, it's upwards of like, a cigar that costs $7.50 in Tampa costs $16.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
100% markup.
Yeah. So these guys are just getting housed. And so I would just send out care packages to friends, and hey, here's some cigars, enjoy them. Because it didn't cost me very much where I'm getting them from. I was getting them for $3-4. I'm buying in bulk, and I had friends in all the little places. And I'm the home of cigars in Tampa. At one point, Tampa was producing 15 million cigars a year, So it's like I'm in the home where you can get these at a great deal. And so I was passing them around, and I had a buddy who was like, hey, his name was Daniel Justin. He's like, Daniel goes, why don't you just make this a subscription thing? And I was like, I don't want to do this, too much work. And then I have to do a whole business side to it. That's too much. I don't want. So he goes, well, what if I do that and you just do what you're already doing? And I was like, I could do that. And so it started with that. And then the more we engaged with y'all, with members, we found that it was something that, that the biggest hole in the industry was one where you couldn't get custom cigars for your special situations. And we would have people weekly going, hey, can I get a custom cigar for this event, or for my son's birthday, or for,
And when you say custom cigar, you mean the custom label. You don't mean a custom wrapped cigar, correct?
Correct. It started as custom labels, and then it became custom cigars. So now we do unique blends. We have about 200 different vitolas we can choose from. And that we work with two different tabacaleras, one in the Dominican, one in Nicaragua. And we produce them mostly for golf courses. So we do some for Pioneers No. 2. We've done some for Red Feather. We do Fields Club. You can get them at Fields Club. You can get them at Sweetens. You can get them a lot of places. We just did Wingfoot ones, Trump properties. So it's pretty wild what it's turned into. But again, the intersection is the cool part of the intersection of these communities is no different than any other communities in golf. Tequila, bourbon, so the spirits world of alcohol and spirits, beer, everybody loves that mix, right? There's something about doing things that you enjoy mixed with something that is so incredibly hard and designed to defeat you that just gives you, peace at times.
I love. So who's the most interesting person you've smoked a cigar with?
Ooh, that's a great question. Ooh, most interesting person. I got two interesting people here. Taylor Hughes, Aaron Killingsworth. Fascinating. Pop in here. Hello.
Hello, Taylor. Hello, Aaron.
Local hecklers.
Hey, Josh.
We love a little heckle deck. We take it with us everywhere we go. I'm trying to think. Let me think about this for a second. I would say the guy, like the most interesting person I've spoke to cigar with. This guy by the name of Raphael. I won't give his last name. He introduced himself.
We like that.
He introduced himself as a plastics. He owned a plastics manufacturing company.
Okay.
In Venezuela. I met him at a very high-end golf course, very normal situation. A friend of mine introduced me to him. His name is Jonathan Shabat. He's the sommelier for Trump Doral and for most of the Trump properties. So he comes, runs the spirits rooms and the tasting rooms and all that stuff. And he goes, "Hey, I got a perfect guy for you. I want you to bring him a cigar, have a smoke with him. His name's Rafael." So I go meet Rafael. Rafael was not from Venezuela originally. Rafael was Portuguese. His mom was, I believe I think she was murdered. And then when he was living in Portugal, and his dad didn't know what to do to try and save him, and so he literally threw him in the water, like in the ocean.
Wow.
He like put him in. I don't remember how he described it, but it was like this
Like
wooden thing,
modern day Moses.
literally like it was this trace, it was legit
Yeah.
Moses type situation. And he goes, and I'm like sitting here just listening, smoking my cigar. I'm like, "Oh, I'm doing this." I'm like, I'm like chain smoking, as he's telling me this story. Try not to freak out, And he's like, "Yeah." And the guy that the family that got him out were it was a Portuguese family, and they were moving to Venezuela, and the who became his kind of stepdad, father-in-law, if you were however you want to describe it, surrogate dad, ended up moving them to Venezuela, and he owned rubber fields, and they would make rubber plants.
Interesting.
And he started in these rubber fields, and so he was just a worker in his dad's fields, and then started working on different things, and then said, "I want to go to school," and so he started going to school and learned a few more things, and then took an apprenticeship at this other company that used to melt this stuff down. He's describing all this to me, right? And I'm just sitting there going, "We just got done talking about our 18-hole rounds, out of Trump Doral, and now we're talking about this guy's past. He's a modern day Moses. He's been thrown in the water. No one knows."
I love that. I love that. Just through this, by virtue of this podcast, we've renamed Raphael the modern day Moses.
Modern day Moses.
Sorry, continue.
I'll send it to him. He'll love it. So we're talking about it. He's loving his cigar. We're talking about cigars and how all that happened, right? And then he drops this bomb on me, and he's like, "Yeah." He goes, "Plastics manufacturing." He goes, "Well," "You like golf, so all the carbon heads, like the tops of the carbon that's TaylorMade used." And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, we make those in my plant." And I was like,
Okay.
And then I'm like, "What else do you make, Raphael?" And they have government contracts, and they have like all these different things. At one point, they were making, they were the exclusive distributor of plastic bottles to Mexico.
Wow.
Crazy,
Okay.
right? So fascinating guy. Still enjoy talking to him. I get to see him twice a year. I'll send him this podcast. He'll love it. Modern day Moses, most interesting man in the world, and looked like it. Big mustache, like looked like this.
Yeah.
Except thinner. He actually looked a little bit like Javier Bardem, but not quite as like fit. He's more square shouldered. But cool guy.
So it's clear that, and I've smoked plenty of cigar with you on the golf course. Do you think there is a brand or a line of cigars that are designed specifically for smoking on the golf course? Between flavor, the burn.
I don't think there's a brand, but I think there's a by far our most popular cigar is the sugarcane sweet tip cigar that we do, and it was blended by Angela at Grand Cathedral Cigars. So shout out to her. Thank you for letting us, be able to use them in customs. Her style of blend, right? But I think that something that is not overwhelmingly strong, that has a little bit of a sweetness to it, really blends well. So modern day cigars you can get in almost any humidor in America: Dominicana, Baccarat, Sobremesa Brûlée, right? Brûlée is a great one. I think what else is in that vein, but I mean, it's a great place to go to get a good flavor that almost everyone will enjoy, and that's the thing for me. Like the entire premise behind cigars and the business and everything else, even if you took the business away, when I hand people a cigar, anybody a cigar, I want them to smoke what they like and like what they smoke. And so I'm very choosy about what I hand someone. When they say, "Hey, I want a cigar," I don't just give them whatever. right? I think I ask them questions. What do you like? You know, and they don't realize I'm trying to profile what kind of cigar they want, but I want them to have a good experience, you know, and not everybody does, but hopefully most of the people that I pass the cigar to enjoy it.
Yeah, and I can attest to that. Every time you've had a box, you've handed me something that I've thought was absolutely delightful. I am certainly guilty of this next question, but being the expert that you are, have you ever had a cigar-related disaster on the golf course? Like almost. Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, hold on. I'll box myself. So 3 years ago, was it 3 years ago? It was 2023 Club Championship, Sweetens Cove. Paul, 2023, yeah, 2023. Paul Williams made a hole in one. Cam made a hole in one, same day. The next day, there was something really unique about it. It was we had the biggest mosquitoes I'd ever seen I'd been coming up there a while at that point, and the biggest mosquitoes I'd ever seen in the region were up there. It was so humid. It was so sticky. And there wasn't enough off, you know, Johnson & Johnson off in the world to keep the stupid mosquitoes off of me. Right. And so I'm struggling. I'm fighting mosquitoes. I'm trying to play golf. And Paul Williams is playing with me, and he goes, "Hey, Ryan." And I was like, Paul's from Alabama, but not just anywhere Alabama, nowhere Alabama. And so he's like, Ryan, I got the perfect stuff for you. You just need to spray this, just spray this on you. And he pulls out this like metal canister with a spray top. And I'm like, cool. Didn't even think anything of it. I get my arms, start my wrist, go up, my legs, my neck, front of my neck.
And what do you have in your pocket that in any moment you're going to use?
So I smoked 22 cigars that day. 22 cigars just that day, that one day. We're at the end of the day, and Matt's sitting next to me, Matt Adamski, GM at Sweetens. He's just like this. He's like, dude, did you like what happened? Did you have a problem with your car this morning? I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, you smell like gasoline. I smell gasoline. And I'm looking around. And we're both at this point sniffing everywhere, trying to find the gasoline. I'm smoking as we're talking about this, right? I'm like, looking around. Can't find it. He leans in, he comes close to my arm, and he sniffs it, and he goes, dude, you got it on your arm. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you got it on your arm. Well, how'd you get gas on your arm? I was like, I didn't put gas in my arm. I don't know. He goes, what do you mean? He goes, I'm smelling. I'm like, oh my God, I do smell like gasoline. I'm smelling everywhere. And he's like, when did you get gasoline leaked on you? And I was like, I didn't get leaked in gasoline. And it like dawned on me. Oh my God. He gave me gasoline in the freaking canister. Oh. And I shout at Paul, and I'm like, Paul, what is this bug spray? And he goes, oh, it's all gasoline. Don't worry about it. You'll be fine. Bro, I freaked out. I ran to the hose. I'm just like, Matt's spraying me down, you know.
The fact that you didn't spontaneously combust or just trying to like relight a cigar or light a new one for somebody
the other day,
just go up in flames is.
And I told the story in front of Paul, and Paul goes, listen, don't blame me because it works. He didn't have a single book with you the whole damn day. And I was like, I'm like, yeah, I almost lit on fire. Don't worry about it. So everything's fine, you know? So I got a question for you. We're just going to hit it straight off the deck right here.
Okay.
So rumor has it you have a nickname at Sweetens Cove. So I don't know you even as Josh. I know you as the regional manager.
So some would say.
What some would call you the regional manager. What is the history behind the regional manager? I don't even remember how it started.
You told me how it started.
Did I? How drunk was I?
No. So the story goes.
It was like roadshow. I remember that.
Yeah. You guys were driving across Texas to head to Red Feather. for one of the Sweetens Cove road shows, which
That's what it was.
there's still a few road shows left on the calendar. I'm sure there will be road shows next year. If you can attend one of the Sweetens Cove road shows, it's one of the best events. It is Sweetens Cove effectively taking over a golf course for a day. So you get double pins, you get the entire Sweetens Cove experience, but add another track. And it's, and Don's wearing the swag, for those of you that can see it on YouTube, but
I remember. I still don't remember where it started. I remember we called you that on the way to Red Fest.
The story you told me is that you all tried to call me and were debating what my title was with my job. And then I'm also extremely type A and like to plan things and make sure that all the ducks are perfectly in a row. So I am affectionately referred to as the regional manager. Although I also know there's some sarcasm laced in there that I welcome with joy.
Is that I still don't know, because I don't ever get your message, because you do always pick up. Shout out to you. If you ever find friends to pick up, that's the rule.
Right. Friends that pick up are the best.
What's the are you actually a regional manager, or are you?
No, I'm a senior director of global membership sales. That's close. That's close.
This is what started.
No, title. I don't know.
Hey, tomato. It's call me whatever you want as long as you're buying something from me. I don't care.
That's right. Shout out, regional manager. The greatness, and it is affectionate.
Yeah, I know. I love that.
All right, I got another off the deck for you.
Go for it.
What's the best course you played this year? Because you played some bangers this year.
Oh, okay. I'm being put on the spot on my own podcast. Best course I've played this year. I feel like I need to go to my gen and see where all
You played some bangers.
And it's funny you asked that question because I'm wearing the shirt. Lido's really, really, really good. And really cool story about the Lido. I got to play it with the guy that found the land for the Kaiser family to build Sand Valley.
That is so cool.
So getting to talk to him,
that is so cool,
and learn about him just driving around in the sandhills of Wisconsin.
You meet the most amazing people. You think I'm fascinated. You meet the most amazing people. Landman's fantastic. Pinehurst number 10 is great. But yeah, Lido's really, really, really good. Trying to think where else. There's a gentleman sitting to your right. Taylor, where else have we played this year that I'm not thinking of? Bandon Dunes.
We did go to Bandon this year. Yeah. Gosh,
that was a trip.
Thanks for a great birthday, by the way.
Oh yeah, whew. Yeah. You did have a great birthday. That's another story for another
Listening
podcast.
To you try to rap when you were hammered was amazing. It was the best birthday gift I could have ever.
I'm glad I don't remember that.
Shout out Kyle, man.
Yeah, Bandon was great. But yeah, it's been a great year of golf. I'm incredibly grateful, thankful. It's funny, this small world of people that you meet and the doors that it opens and just opportunities if you just are nice and kind. I got to add another one though. Country Club of Birmingham this week, incredible. Country Club of Birmingham is a Donald Ross, the West Course. Very, very special golf course. I mean, every hole was. You just kind of had to stand on the tee box, and I think I teed off last every hole, primarily because I was just standing in the back, just with my jaw dropped, taking it all in. Just having grown up in Birmingham and seeing that topography on a golf course that's effectively in downtown Birmingham
I was shocked you hadn't played.
Yeah, so you're about the 47th person to say that.
But you're still new to golf. Like, I do have to remind myself often. Like, you're like in the realm of. Like, I haven't played. I feel like I'm new to golf. I started playing when I was 20. I was 22, I think, when maybe 21, 22. I think it was 22.
I've been playing since I was 13, but always in a bubble. Never really outside of a local muni or parents being members at a country club or something like that. So it's always been. I've loved the game. But have a brand new appreciation for different experiences the game brings you, it gives you. Yeah, it's been a good year. It's been a really good year. What's the best course you've played this year?
I mean, Sweetens Cove, bro. It's the best course I play every year. No, best new course I played this year. Best new course I played this year. Holy crap, I haven't thought about that.
Would
TPC.
you'd already played Eugene, probably, hadn't you? You already played Eugene
yeah.
Country Club.
Yeah.
TPC
Yeah,
Deer
shout out
Run was
members.
fun.
TPC Deer Run.
The week after the tournament.
The week
Okay.
after the tournament,
Yeah.
TPC Deer Run blew my socks off.
And then you guys did French Lick, right?
Yeah, I played French Lick and played the Ross, played the Pete Dye, which I think here's your hot take. Here's your hot take for the day. For the golf nerds out there. The Pete Dye course at French Lick is no different than Wolf Creek in Las Vegas in Mesquite. There you go. There's your hot take. It's no different than Harbor Town. Everyone should play it once. And because it is a fantastically interesting, visually interesting golf course. And it's a fun way to play golf. But you'll probably never need to play it again.
Okay.
And that's not a downgrade on it. I don't mean that at all.
We all have courses that we're glad we played them, but we don't ever want to play it again. Like, okay, check that box. Great. I'm glad I did it, but I don't need to do it again.
Yeah. In the same vein that I probably will never play it again. I might not ever play. I might play it one more time with somebody new, but in the same vein as that, my favorite golf course video of me that's ever been taken was at French Lick on the Pete Dye course. So because it's just stunning, you know what I mean? Like it's just an incredible experience. So I think that would be, it's a really interesting hot take, but there you go. What I was going to say is we were on the way to Tot Hill and, we were, what time? Yeah, we were good. We were on the way to Tot Hill and we were talking about, how interesting it is. And the reason why I like Sweetens Cove so much is there's a place for everyone. There is a place for the golf architect and golf course architecture people. There's a place for the people that really don't even care for golf, but they like to hang out with their friends and drink and have fun and do whatever. I mean, Aaron's been over there. I think did we actually take you over there? I can't remember. Did we take you to the golf course? Which one? To Sweetens? Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, we did. He didn't even play golf, and had a good time, at the experience. There's a place for the guys who want to go low. There's a place for the guys who want to compete. There's a place for the guys who want to play in big groups. There's a place for the guys who want to play by themselves. There's so many different ways to enjoy it. And if I could make a wish for golf, my wish would be that the rest of golf was as embracing of all the different kinds of ways to experience it as Sweetens Cove is.
I love
That's
that.
why
And totally agree. It's a place that entirely changed my perspective of the game of golf. It changed my view of attire, of group size, of how you play the game. Well,
and I was playing when we were at Tot Hill. It felt like Sweetens, right? And one of the things I love about you is when you decide that you're kind of done, then you're done playing golf and you just want to be around the golf and the people and do that, you just do it. And seriously, it's one of the coolest things about you. Like when you reach your point, you're like, cool, I'm done,
Yeah.
And then you just hang out, you're having a good time. And you're not angry, you're not upset, you didn't play bad, nothing caused it. It's just, you know what?
Yeah, I've had enough. To your point, I was toast. I had enough. I'd played enough. Cart path only at Tot Hill Farm. Would not recommend. That's a lot of walking. If you've ever played in Mike Strantz, lots of elevation changes. And if you hit it away from the cart path, I mean, be prepared for a hike. but yeah, it was by like I guess 3 or 4 o'clock, I was like, okay, I've had my
You were
fun.
satisfied.
I'm gonna sit in the
And
car.
you were just happy. You were like, I'm satisfied. We're good.
Yeah,
Now I'm just gonna have a great time. And you did. And it was awesome. But you've done that at Sweetens, you've done that at Landman, you've done that at everywhere I've ever played with you. I feel like you've always been that way. And it's again like that's how you want to enjoy it. And then there's psychopaths like Shoot who just want to play as much golf as they physically can.
Right. And the guy sitting to your right, Taylor Hughes. Yes.
He does too. Yeah. He likes to do
yeah.
too. So yeah. So I think golf's a really cool place to embrace a lot of different kinds of things, from cigars and bourbon to, the merch that we get and the tokens, right? The things that we take with us to remember experiences.
Yep.
I think, that's a big thing to you. That's something that I know you always enjoy doing and you're thoughtful behind it, right? There's a lot of ways to enjoy the game. And so I think that that's probably my favorite intersection of golf is that.
Yeah, totally agree. All right. So Don, it's been an incredible 40 minutes. Thank you for hopping on. I want to let you get back to, I want to let you get to your mezcal, your cigars, your conversation. We are going to close with one question though. Do you like to hit it off the deck?
I do.
That is a go-to shot.
Mini story, but not much of a story. My last full year playing golf in Las Vegas at Las Vegas Country Club, I played it was the best I've ever been at golf. I was at a scratch or better. And this is 2008, 19. It was a long time ago. But I was scratch or better the whole year. It was the best golf I've ever played, and I hit it off the deck at that golf course every time I played it on the tee.
So you didn't put a peg in the ground on the tee box?
Ever. I had a TaylorMade M130 or M1430 that was a 10.5, and I hit it straight off the deck because you can't be off the fairway.
That's incredible.
So I love driver off the deck.
Yeah. Well, we love you for joining us.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
I hope you boys have a great time tonight. Ryan, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
I'm Josh Decker. This has been another episode of Off the Deck. Y'all have a great afternoon, evening. Enjoy yourselves, boys.
We will.
See you, regional manager.
Bye, regional manager. Love you.